This is Titus Sewell's individual project for physics. Today we will be discussing Thor and whether he is as strong as a god or maybe just a human. Today's goal is to use physics to determine how strong you must be to wield Mjolnir, which, for those of you who don't know, is a hammer that is the weapon of choice for the god of thunder, Thor. It has many abilities, but we will be mainly focusing on flight. Today's procedure is to locate a clip of Mjolnir flying by an object of known height, put that clip into Tracker, and use the data that Tracker gives us to find force and power that Thor is applying on the hammer to slow it down. Using this scene from Thor Ragnarok, we used Chris Hemsworth's height as a ruler and plotted 2 points of the hammer, making the axes at the first point. Using our 2 points and the change in time between frames, we can calculate the total displacement between the 2 frames and divide that by the time between the 2 frames to get a velocity, which is 40.3 meters per second. Then we can calculate momentum. We know mass from the official trading card. It's 42.3 pounds, which is 19.2 kilograms. And momentum is mass times velocity, which we know from the last slide, so we can calculate this momentum. We can now calculate the force that Thor exerts on the hammer, because change in momentum is force times change in time. We know the change in momentum is the momentum from the previous slide minus 0, because that's the final momentum. And change in time is 8 frames times the change in time for a single frame. So plugging this all in, we can get this force. We can also solve for power. We know energy because it's just mass and velocity, and work is the change in kinetic energy, which is from this energy to 0 because he's stopping the hammer. And power is work over change in time, which is, again, the same amount of slides as last time. So we get a power of this. So what does all of this mean? Well, let's compare Thor's strength to some everyday terms. The record bench press is about 740 pounds, while Thor is only exerting about 660 pounds of force. Also, the 2019 Mitsubishi Mirage outputs 78 horsepower, while Thor outputs about the same at 80 horsepower. Some limitations on this project is the availability of clips. There are a few clips where Mjolnir is flying next to something that we know the height of, so it's hard to track this. Also, the nature of our clip. Thor is casually catching the hammer. He is not exerting his full potential, so we don't know his true strength. The conclusion is, though, that our data shows that a well-trained athlete would be able to stop Thor's hammer. You don't have to be a god to have super strength, you just need to train.